Well folks, today we have a recent Neo-Geo game, believe it or not, with the name of Kraut Buster. This is a game that, while it's nothing new for the console, cause it looks similar to Metal Slug, it is a game that has pretty good graphics. Unfortunately, that is the only thing we can criticize the most, because we refuse to get a copy of the game legally, and the reason for that is because when it comes to accessibility, this game is either too difficult to obtain, or simply too expensive. And let us say this, we completely understand why you are asking so much money for a physical copy, cause we are indeed men that understand business. However, we are also gamers that understand the value of a game when we see it, or play it, and the amount you are asking is simply too much for a 2D shooting game like this. The fact that this game is not even on PC, Steam or the Switch seems very anti-consumer if you ask me, and what is worse is that they didn't even bother to bring the game to the Dreamcast, unlike many of their other games. You have to be either very greedy or very scared of the pirates. Let us explain. What we mean is that if you are not giving people other choice but to pay $300 for a game that is not even close of being worth that amount of money, while having to deal with shipping and hoping your game arrives fine and as soon as possible, then you're probably trying to gain more for less. It may not be a scam, but it is still a rather unfair tactic when we know you can offer a better deal. And we understand that you don't want your game pirated, but honestly, it is your fault if your game easily ends up being a victim of piracy because you don't know how to deal with piracy. Yes, piracy is inevitable, but that doesn't mean it is impossible to prevent it for at least 1 year. Besides, all this does is encourage people to pirate the game even more, because you are not giving them a better and cheaper alternative. Not that it would be that easy to pirate this game anyway. And even if you had the game physically for a cheaper price, you still have to buy an expensive console you may not care about owning to play it. And don't misunderstand, the Neo-Geo console was a spectacular piece of tech for the time, but just like back then, it is still a fairly expensive system to own, even the CD version of it. To further support this, let us give an example that is called Netflix. You know why Netflix became popular? It was because it gave people an easy and fair alternative to watch movies without resorting to the captain. Same goes for Steam and GOG. They allow you to buy games digitally for a decent price, and they usually don't give you any annoyances when downloading the game onto your computer. This way of selling your game is just like the e-reader's setup. Horrendous. For those who don't know what an e-reader is, it was an add-on for the Game Boy Advance that failed due to the horrid setup it had in order to use it. We could have also talked about how you may have to wait to buy a physical copy of this game whenever they run out of copies to sell, or how your copy might be obsolete due to how they updated the game, but I think we had said enough. So just like that, Kraut Buster is a potentially good retro style game whose biggest weakness is the ridiculously lacking accessibility to play it. Hopefully the developers put an effort to put this game in other platforms, especially on portable systems, cause running Neo-Geo on a 3DS is definitely possible, you know. It also makes you appreciate how easy it is to play Metal Slug and its sequels. These games will never fail you as far as accessibility goes. And it is still possible to get them all on a compilation that is most likely way cheaper than this recent Kraut Buster game. Sad, isn't it? Don't misunderstand though, we all want the best video games out there. We all want more games that give AAA developers and their unfinished games a run for their money. But the question is, how much are we willing to pay for said games? People don't spend $300 or more for a game they know it is similar to other games that they can get for way cheaper.